A third problem, if I want to find the area between 125 and 145, what is the probability of selecting a value in here? Well, this shaded region is bounded on both sides by an unshaded region. The table can't give me this value directly. Instead, what I need to do is I need to find the area between 145 and 120. The table can give me that value. And then I need to find this area in here. This is an area I don't want. Of the total area between 120 and 145, this area I don't want. So I have to subtract it out. So I take 145 minus 120 divided by 10, and I get a z-value of 2.5. This gives me a calculated of 0.4938. The z-value of 125 minus 120 divided by 10 is 0.5. This gives me 0.1915. So my answer, my shaded region, will be 0.4938 minus 0.1915, or 0.3023. The next set of problems I call using the table backwards. Now look at the question here. I have a normal distribution with a mean of 120 and a standard deviation of 10. And my question is, 10% of the values are above what number? So I want to shade a region of the curve so that some x, 10% of the values lie above it. The first step here is to draw and shade the region that I'm looking for, like I've done here. The second step is to find the z-value of this x. Now I do this by using the z-table backwards. Now you'll notice here I put 0.10% in here, and that means that 0.4000 lies in here. What I'm going to do is look in the body of the table for the value closest to 0.4000, and you will find 0.3995 in the body of the table. That translates to a z-value of 1.28. So I know that a distribution that has a z-value of 1.28 has 10% above that. Now you'll remember the definition of a z-value is the number of standard deviations a value is away from the mean. So this x is now 1.28 standard deviations above the mean. Since the standard deviation was 10, 1.28 standard deviations is 12.8. So I'm 12.8 above the mean, or 132.8. So the number 132.8, 10% of all of the values lie above that number. Now I'm going to change this problem a little bit. I'm going to have a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 15, just to change it up. Standard deviation of 15. And I want 80% of the values will lie above what number? Pause the video and try to graph this on a sheet of paper. Okay, so we have a mean of 120, and I want 80%. So I'm sorry, a mean of 120, standard deviation of 15. 80% of the values lie above what number? So in order to do this, I've got to draw the x here. 80% has to be above it. Step 2, this x, well, if 80% is here, 50% would be here, 30% there, I'd get a z-value of negative 0.84. And I'm below the mean, so I would end up being 12.6 below the mean, which would be 107.4.